ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Om. Dear friends, we were seeing the 41st shloka in the last class, 18th adhyaya, 41st shloka. This is about Chaturvarnyam, that is Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Shudranam cha Parantapa Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. So I just explained that shloka. And then we had just commenced the Bhashyam. Somewhere in the beginning only we are, He Parantapa, Karmani Pravibhaktani, Itaretara Vibhagena Vyavasthapitani, Kena Swabhava Prabhavaihi Gunahi, Swabhavaha. So now we are there defining as to what exactly is Swabhava. So in the last class I told you that Shankaracharya is giving three meanings for this word Swabhava. One is Prakruti, which is otherwise called Maya, Prakruti. Number two is the predominance of a particular guna. The second one is predominance of a particular guna. Depending on the predominance of a particular guna, you characterize it as that swabhava. Then the third one is manifestation of samskaras of the previous birth. Samskaras of previous birth, they manifest in this janma, they manifest as a particular janma. So that is what is swabhava. So, Swabhava Prabhavaihi Gunaihi. These gunas which are born out of this Swabhava, basing on those gunas, the division has been made, this classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra has been made, and there are certain socially assigned functions, Karmani Pravibhaktani, because depending on the ability of a person, depending on the nature and attitude of a person, like we now hold aptitude tests and whatnot. So there are aptitude tests which are held, and then depending on the aptitude, they will see whether a person is suitable for a particular type of job or not. So similarly, depending on their aptitude, they used to allot some karmas. So karmani pravibhaktani swabhava prabhavaihi gunaihi. So that is the point. So swabhavaha, this line we read. Swabhavaha Ishwarasya Prakrutihi Trigunaatmika Maya Sa Prabhavaha Yesham Gunanam Tep Swabhava Prabhavaha Taihi. So this Trigunaatmika Maya, this is the Prabhavaha. Prabhavaha means Janmasthanam. This is the origin. Yesham, those for which. This is the origin. So they are called the Swabhava Prabhavaha Gunaha. Then depending on that, Karmani. What type of Karmani? Shama Adini. Shama prescribed for a Brahmana, then for a Kshatriya it is a Shauryam, Tejaha, Dhruti, etc. Krushi, Goraksha, Vanijam, etc. for a Vaishya, etc. Like that, Karmani, the activities in the society, whatever the society has so many activities, and all these activities have to be prescribed, depending the right man in the right place. So that has to be done. So the classification of these karmas has been done according to that. Karmani Pravibhaktani Brahmanadinam. We stopped here.
Yes.
So let us read, continue. Athava Brahmana Swabhavasya Sattvagunah Prabhavah Karanam.
Brahmana Swabhavasya Sattvagunah
Prabhavah Karanam. Tatha Kshatriya Swabhavasya Sattvopasarjanam Rajah Prabhavah.
Tatha Kshatriya Swabhavasya Sattvopasarjanam Rajah Prabhavah.
Vaishya Swabhavasya Tama Upasarjanam Rajah Prabhavah.
Vaishya Swabhavasya Tama Upasarjanam Rajah Prabhavah.
Shudra Swabhavasya Raja Upasarjanam Tamah Prabhavah.
Shudra Swabhavasya Raja Upasarjanam Tamah Prabhavah.
So this thing we have seen in the 4th chapter also. Raja Upasarjanasya Sattvopasarjanasya, Rajah Pradhanasya, Kshatriyasya, etc. We saw the commentary in 4th adhyaya also. Similar thing is being told here. Athava means or else. The second type of thing, that is the predominance of a particular guna, that is being emphasized now. That is Athava Brahmana Swabhavasya Sattvagunaha Prabhavaha Karanam. Sattva guna. Sattva guna is the predominant thing. Sattva guna alone is not the thing, because sattva guna, there is no such thing as only one guna. There is again the mixture of various gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva guna is the dominating thing. Sattva guna karanam for what? Brahmana swabhavasya, for the nature which is called Brahman. Say there are certain types. One type is named Brahmana, another type is named Kshatriya, another type is named Vaishya, and another type is named Shudra. For this thing which is named as Brahmana, this Sattva guna is the pradhanam. So whatever, say, the product of that Sattva guna, predominant, where there is predominance of Sattva guna, the product of that Sattva guna is called a Brahmana. So the Brahmana swabhavasya Sattva guna prabhavaha, then tatha, likewise, Kshatriya swabhavasya Sattvopasarjanam Rajah Prabhavaha. Sattva Upasarjanam. Upasarjanam means secondary. Sattvopasarjanam. Sattva becomes a secondary. Sattvopasarjanam Rajaha. Raja is predominant there. Rajaha is predominant. Sattva is Upasarjanam. Sattva becomes secondary. Sattvopasarjanam Rajaha Prabhavaha. Is it clear? This is what we saw there. So there are, one thing is Sattva is very, very predominant is Brahmana. Rajas is predominant, Sattva becomes secondary is Kshatriya. Then Vaishya Swabhavasya Tama Upasarjanam Rajaha Prabhavaha. Here also Rajas is Prabhavaha. Here also Rajas is predominant. But in the case of a Kshatriya, Sattvam is secondary, but in the case of this Vaishya, Tamas is secondary. Tamas becomes secondary because Sattva becomes secondary in the case of a Kshatriya because this man is also responsible for order in society. He is responsible for upholding dharma. So for all that, Sattva guna is very much important. Sattva guna, some little bit of learning in Vedas, etc., etc., all those things are very, very important. So that is why Sattva becomes number 2 there. Whereas in the case of a Vaishya, where there is a lot of physical activity, production of wealth and whatnot, there is more of this other guna, not so much of Sattva guna. This Tama becomes secondary there. Sattva is also there, otherwise there will be only cheating and malpractices in trade. So there is some dharma in that. So whereas Rajoguna is there, Rajoguna, that acquisitive tendency to get more and more and generate more wealth, that is also most important for a society. So Vaishya Swabhavasya Tama Upasarjanam Rajaha. Tama Upasarjana. Tamas becomes secondary, Rajas is predominant. Then Shudra Swabhavasya Raja Upasarjanam Tamaha Prabhavaha. So this Tamaha Prabhavaha. Tamas is the Prabhava, whereas Rajas becomes the secondary thing. So this classification you can visualize in your mind. So Prabhavaha means Utpatti Karana. Then what type of say gunas are they producing? Let us see. Prashantyashvaryeha mudhasvabhava darshanat chaturnam. Prashantyashvaryeha mudhasvabhava. Aishwarya iha. Aishwarya plus iha becomes Aishwaryeha mudhasvabhava darshanat.
Prashantyashvaryeha mudhata darshanat.
Mudhata, okay, here it says Mudha Swabhava Darshanat Chaturnam. So this Chaturnam means for these 4 classes, what is it that is seen? What is it we are seeing in them? Prashanti. In the case of a Brahmana, we are seeing a Prashanti. Prashanti means he is contented, he is happy. Tushtaha. Tushtaha means happy. Not happy because he has got all the wealth. He is happy because he doesn't want wealth. So that is the problem with this man. So he is not that he is having so much of wealth and he is having so much of property and because of that he is happy. He has given up all those things and then he has chosen a path of what is this Jnana, Vairagya, Dhyana, Samadhi, etc., etc. So he is busy studying his books and then if he discovers the meaning of a particular word, he is very happy. So for any grammarian, Ardhamatra Laghavena Putrotsaham Manyante Vayyakarana, there is a saying like that. So if there is some line which he sees, if he can say it in a more say precise way, Ardha Matra Laghavena. So even if Ardha Matra is reduced, it is as though he has got a son. Putrotsaham Manyante Vayyakarana. So something like that. So the fellow is so happy reading his books. So Tarkika also is same. So like that they are very happy. Prashanti. Then Aishwarya. Aishwarya means not wealth. Not wealth. Ishwarasya bhavaha Aishwaryam. Ishwara means Ishanashilitvam, lordship, that is leadership qualities. If we want to use a modern term, it is basically leadership, showing leadership qualities. If there are some 10 people in a particular situation, those 10 people, if they face a particular incident, automatically one leader emerges among them. Automatically, so the one leader emerges among them, and then that fellow, he will be saying, okay, let us do this, let us do this. So that is the leadership quality. So that is Rajoguna. So Tama, Prashanti, Aishwarya, Iha means desire, greed, Iha. Prashanti, Aishwaryeha, Modha. Asha, Aishwarya plus Iha becomes Aishwaryeha. Aishwarya plus Iha. Iha is desire, greed, acquisitive nature. Then Mudha Swabhavaha. Mudha is dullness, not showing any interest, not having initiative, lacking in initiative. So that sort of Swabhava. Swabhava Darshanat Chaturnam. In these 4 characters, we are seeing this type of thing. Then Athava, there is another thing. Let us read. Athava. Janmantara Kruta Samskaraha.
Janmantara Kruta Samskaraha.
Praninam Vartamana Janmani.
Praninam Vartamana Janmani.
स्वकार्याभिमुखत्वेन अभिव्यक्त स्वभावः
स्वकार्याभिमुखत्वेन
अभिव्यक्तः स्वभावः सप्रभवः येषां गुणानां ते स्वभावप्रभवा गुणाः ओके अथवा or else जन्मान्तरकृत संस्कारः. So there are some activities which were done in the previous life, and the previous life has produced a whole mass of samskaras, and those samskaras have given rise to this particular birth. So those samskaras, the whole baggage of that samskaras. So this thing, and praninam vartamana janmani, and in this particular janma swakarya abhimukhatvena. Karya abhimukhatvena means they are now producing the result. Whatever karyam, whatever samskaras have been acquired, accumulated in the last janma, they are now in the process of giving the result. Karya abhimukha. Karya means the phalam, result. Abhimukha. Abhimukha means they are going to produce. Abhimukha, towards, moving towards. Abhimukha is actually moving towards. Abhimukha, moving towards. Karya abhimukhatvena. They are actually about to produce, they are moving towards producing their result. So that is it. So here, of course, and the thing is, whatever is the environment of a person, environment shapes samskaras, isn't it? Whatever environment we have, that environment shapes samskaras. And those samskaras, they produce birth. So this is what we see. Environment produces samskaras, environment, that is interaction with so many people, and then all that produces samskaras. And these samskaras again result in our further behavior. And after the death of a person, the same samskaras, they cause another birth, and then they start giving result in a similar direction, unless again interfered by some other samskaras. In the next life, though we start with some good samskaras, there may be some bad influence, and with that bad influence, another, the man may not develop in a proper way. Or if there are some bad samskaras, and then even if the general nature is, the starting point is bad, there can be some good samskaras by which he can develop in a positive way. So that is it. So again, the same question of heredity versus environment also can be brought here. So swakarya abhimukhatvena abhivyaktaha. Abhivyaktaha means that which is manifest. That which is manifest in order, abhimukha, that is moving towards production of their, whatever result they are supposed to produce. So that swabhavaha, prabhavaha yesham gunanam, te swabhava prabhavaha gunaha. These gunas, these are the characteristics which are called swabhava prabhavaha gunaha. Then guna pradurbhavasya निष्कारणत्व अनुपपत्तेः स्वभावः कारणमिति कारणविशेषोपादानम् स्वभाव is पुंलिंग स्वभावः कारणमिति. So गुणप्रादुर्भावस्य निष्कारणत्व अनुपपत्तेः, because there cannot be these gunas, there cannot be this manifestation, all these gunas cannot manifest without any cause. So that is the point here. Guna pradurbhavasya. Pradurbhava means origining. Pradurbhava, Udbhava, Pradurbhava, Udbhava, that is gunas manifesting. For that, Nishkaranatva Anupapattehe. We can't say that there is no cause for that. You see, a person is he is born with some tendencies. You can't say there are no reasons. There are no reasons for that. Nishkaranatvasya Anupapati. Anupapati means it doesn't fit in there. So you can't say that there is no reason for a person to be bad or no reason for a person to be good. So there is something. Nowadays you call it genes or genetic pool, whatever it is, genetic inheritance. So by genes, a fellow has got a particular, some lakshanas, we say. So probably the same thing is here. Nishkaranatva Anupapattehe. That is because we cannot say that all these things have manifested without any reason. Then we are saying that Swabhava is the Karanam. So we are particularly mentioning this Swabhava is the Karanam for these gunas, for the manifestation of these gunas, because you can't say that all these gunas have manifested without any reason. So that is the point here. Guna Pradurbhavasya Nishkaranatvasya Anupapattehe Swabhava Karanamiti Karana Vishesha Upadanam. Upadanam means taking, accepting it. The accepting or mentioning this as Karana is only to show that you have to give some reason for the manifestation of these gunas. Then, evam swabhava prabhavaihi, prakriti swabhavaihi, prakriti prabhavaihi, sattva-rajas tamo-gunaihi, tamobhir-gunaihi, swakaryanurupena, shamadini karmani pravibhaktani. Shamadini. So, evam, like this, in this manner, Swabhava Prabhavaihi, Prakriti Prabhavaihi. So, by these gunas which are, the cause for this Prakriti Prabhava, of course, Shankaracharya, though he has given three meanings, here he is giving one meaning only, Prakriti Prabhavaihi. He is taking the first meaning, leaving the other two, to be pondered over by us. So we can accept anything because he has not condemned he has not dismissed the other two explanations also. So Prakriti Prabhavaihi is Sattva Rajasamobhi Gunaihi Swakaryanurupena. That is, then these gunas, they have to produce some karya. Swakarya Anurupena. In accordance with their karyam. So the particular guna produces a particular karyam. For example, a particular good guna produces a good karyam. A bad guna produces some other bad karyam. Leadership is one guna. If this leadership guna is there, he has to be given a particular task where leadership is required. If some contentment, say a fellow is contented, santushtaha, he is ahimsa, satyam, etc., accordingly some guna has to be given to him. So like that, some karyam, some duty has to be given to him. So likewise, swakaryanurupena Shamadini karmani pravibhaktani. So whatever are the tasks, that is, nowadays also what we do is, what are all the tasks? And depending on the tasks, you identify people and then put on those tasks, isn't it? What are all the tasks in any particular organization? And in that organization, you identify the people who have those aptitude or who have those abilities and put them on that. So it is like that. Swakaryana rupena, depending on the tasks, shamadini karmani pravibhaktani. Okay, then nanu shastra pravibhaktani shastrena vihitani brahmanadinam shamadini karmani kathamuchyate satvadi guna pravibhaktani iti. A small doubt or a ashanka, not a big purvapaksha. You see, they say all these karmas, all these tasks or duties, they have been assigned by the Shastra. Shastra pravibhaktani means Shastrena pravibhaktani. All this division has been made by the Shastra. Then how is it you say, kathamuchyate means, how is it you say, satvadi guna pravibhaktani iti? That is, how is it that you say that all these things are divided basing on this sattva guna, etc.? You see, all these duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, etc., they have been decided by the Shastra. How do you say that they are all decided by the, say, gunas? So the reply is nothing. Shastra also is taking into consideration these gunas only. Shastra has not arbitrarily or quixotically done. Shastra has taken into consideration these gunas only and done this division. So that is the answer. So nanu shastra pravibhaktani shastrena vihitani. Shastra pravibhaktani means shastrena vihitani, that which has been prescribed by this. What are the brahmanadinam shamadini karmani? All these karmas which are being allotted to people like brahmanas. Then katham uchyate, how can you say sattvadi guna pravibhaktani? How do you say that they are all divided according to this sattva guna etc., according to these gunas? Naisha doshaha
Naisha doshaha
shastrena api
Shastrenapi
brahmanadinam sattvadi guna visheshapekshaya eva. What does your book say?
Karmani pravibhaktani na gunan apekshaya eva.
Naisha doshaha, do you have it or not?
It's there.
Then thereafter,
it's
shastrena api,
Shastrenapi.
you have that word or not? It's not there. Okay, you can read, no problem. Shastrena api
Shastrenapi
brahmanadinam
Brahmanadinam
sattvadi guna visheshapekshaya eva.
Sattvadi gunapekshana eva.
Oh fine, sattvadi guna visheshapekshaya eva. Apekshaya eva, is it there or not?
That is not.
Okay, gunapekshaya eva shamadini karmani pravibhaktani
Shamadini karmani pravibhaktani
na guna anapekshaya eva iti.
na guna anapekshaya eva iti.
Anapekshaya eva iti.
Anapekshaya eva iti.
Shastra pravibhaktanyapi karmani
Shastra pravibhaktanyapi karmani
guna pravibhaktani ityuchyante.
guna pravibhaktani iti
Ityuchyante. See the last line. Shastra pravibhaktanyapi karmani, though these karmas are classified by the Shastra, guna pravibhaktani ityuchyante. They are called guna pravibhaktani because Shastra also is taking into consideration these gunas only. It has not arbitrarily done. Shastrenapi, even by the Shastra, brahmanadinam sattvadi guna visheshapekshaya eva. That is, on the basis of this guna, on the basis of that vishesha guna, visheshapekshaya, on the basis of that exclusive manifestation of these gunas only, then shamadini karmani pravibhaktani. These kashama, etc., all these karmas have been allotted to these people. Not na guna anapekshaya eva. Not by ignoring these gunas. Guna anapeksha. Anapeksha means ignoring. Apeksha means taking into consideration. Anapeksha is ignoring. Not ignoring the, say, one second. Not ignoring these gunas. Guna anapekshaya eva iti. Shastra pravibhaktanyapi karmani. So those, though you can either say they are Shastra pravibhaktani or Guna pravibhaktani, there is nothing wrong. So that is what is there. Here I think we have to, I will read the commentary by Nilakantha also. Nilakantha also has made a very beautiful thing because I am a beautiful commentary. I told you in the last class that we have seen these things, some slight discussion we have done while reading the fourth chapter. While reading the fourth chapter also some discussion was there. Here of course there is a greater discussion by Nilakantha Acharya. Nilakantha, we know that he has written commentary for the whole Mahabharata. Shankaracharya has written commentary for only Gita and also for another passage called Sanat Sujatiyam. In the whole Mahabharatam, which contains about 100,000 shlokas. 100,000 shlokas. Gita is about 700 shlokas. Sanat Sujatiyam is slightly larger. It is, I think it is about 1500 or 1400 shlokas, something like that. It is slightly bigger. So Shankaracharya has given written commentary only for these two passages. Gita after all is one passage. Sanat Sujatiyam is one passage. In the whole huge voluminous book called Mahabharata. Mahabharata, the text itself will be a book of this size. It is almost twice the volume of Shakespeare's complete works. So it is like that, or maybe thrice. It is somewhat like that. So if we see, I think three times that say Shakespeare's complete works, that will be like that, the size. So here Nilakantha is one man, right from A to Z, from the beginning till end, he has written Bhashyam. So he has seen the whole Mahabharata, and then he has all that perspective. Not that Shankaracharya does not have that perspective, whereas Nilakantha is more aware and more keenly aware of the perspective, and he is keenly aware that say the same discussion which we are doing today about what is the greatness of a Brahmin, etc., the same thing was discussed in Mahabharata times. So all these things he is quoting. So I will just read out. Say here, Shauriyadikam Bharata Siddhishu. Okay. You see, I will read this line. Sarve sarvajatiyanam sadharana dharmaha shamadayo drishyante yatha hi dronadishu brahmaneshvapi. Okay. Here, what are all the gunas which have been described here? Dharmas. Sarvajatiyanam sadharana dharmaha shamadaya drishyante. For all the castes, or for all the, not castes, for all these varnas, what are all the gunas? Whoever is the, whatever varna a person is born into, we have to see the gunas. So what are all those gunas? Shamadaya drishyante. Yatha hi dronadishu brahmaneshvapi shauryadikam. Drona, etc., Drona and others, though they were Brahmins, shauryadikam, they were all warriors, they were all teachers, they were teaching, say, this Yuddha Vidya to all these Kshatriya boys. Then Bharatadishu Kshatriyeshvapi Shamadikam Dushtam. Bharata, the king Bharata is there. This king Bharata we have to see in Bhagavatam. This is a character from Mahabhagavatam. Of course, Bharatam also there is there. Bharatam also, this Bharata character is there. But there in this Bhagavatam, a fifth skandha, you may note down, fifth skandha, there is a story of this, what is called Jadabharata and his father Rishabhadeva. So that Rishabhadeva has about 100 sons. So in those 100 sons, Jadabharata is one. And then many of his sons, though they are Kshatriyas, Rishabhadeva is a Kshatriya, he is a king. Many of his sons, they become Brahmanas. Many of his sons by doing some, by switching over their profession. You see, it is not, but the basic point to illustrate here is, it is in olden days, it was not by mere birth, it was by virtue of gunas. It was not by mere birth, it was by virtue of gunas. Bhagavatam, 5th skandha, 4th adhyaya, 5-4-13. You can note down 5-4-13. He says, Pitura adeshakaraha, mahashalinaha, mahashrotriyaha, yajnashilaha, karma vishuddhaha, brahmana babhuhu. All these people by becoming karma mahashrotriyaha, yajnashilaha, karma vishuddhaha, by purification of all these karmas and all that, brahmana babhuhu, they became Brahmins. So many sons of this Rishabhadeva, they became Brahmins. Of course, this Jadabharata, of course, he takes up sannyasa and then he dies like that, and then again he is born into a Brahmin family and all that. There he is called a Jadabharata, not in the first life, but in the second life he is called a Jadabharata. So it is like that. So Jadabharata, this Bharatadayaha, Bharatadishu Kshatriyeshvapi, though they were Kshatriyas, even among them, Shamadikam Dushtam, Shama, etc., Shama, Dama, Shanti, Tapassu, etc., they are all seen in those people. Evam itaratra, like this like this in some other places also. Tasmat, therefore, Yasmin kasminshid varne Shamadayo drishyante, whatever varna a particular man may be, and if that Shama, etc., are seen, Yasmin kasminshid varne Shamadayo drishyante, sa shudropi etaihi lakshanaihi brahmana eva jnatavyaha. Even if he is a Shudra, saha Shudraha api, even if he is a Shudra, etaihi lakshanaihi, by these characteristics, brahmana eva jnatavyaha, he has to be accepted as a brahmana. Then, yatracha brahmanepi, where in the case of a Brahmin, yatracha brahmanepi, Shudra dharmaha drishyante, where the fellow is going to bar and then where he is doing all types of things. Sa Shudra eva, the fellow is a Shudra. So Nilakanta is very ruthlessly giving a lash to all of us. Tathacha Aranyake means in the Aranya Parva, Sarpabhutam Nahisham Prati Yudhishthira Vakyam. There is a passage called, say this, Nahusha Prashna. There are passages where there are questions like who is a Brahmana? This question you find in Yaksha Prashna. There is a passage called Yaksha Prashnalu. There is another passage called Nahusha Prashna. Nahusha was a great king who by virtue of some curse, because of some curse he became a very huge python, something like an anaconda. And then whoever comes to a particular place he swallows. So he was about to swallow all these Pandavas, where the Dharmaraja has to go, and then he answers his questions. The condition was, whoever answers the questions, if his questions are answered, he will leave. If the questions are not answered, he will swallow. So anyway, so while Bhima was caught and about to be swallowed, Dharmaraja goes and then stops and then he says, okay, I will answer your questions. Then he puts some questions. One of the questions was, who is a Brahmana? So there, Sarpabhutam Nahusham Prati Yudhishthira Vakyam, there Yudhishthira says, Satyam Danam Kshama Sheelam Anrushamsyam Tapo Gruna. So this Satyam, Danam, Tapaha, Kshama, forgiveness and patience and tolerance, Sheelam, good character, Anrushamsyam, absence of ruthlessness. Rushamsa is ruthless, cruel, absence of any absence of absence of cruelty, Tapaha, Gruna, so impartiality and all these things, compassion, all these things, Drushyante Yatra Nagendra, Sa Brahmana iti smrutaha, all these gunas, if they are there in somebody, he is called a Brahman. Then he also says, Yatraital Lakshyate Sarpa, Vruttam sa Brahmana smrutaha, Yatraitam na bhavet Sarpa, Tam Shudramiti Nirdishet. Wherever you see these qualities, he can be called a Brahmin. Where these qualities are not there, he should be called a Shudra. Yatraitam na bhavet Sarpa, Tam Shudramiti Nirdishet. So this is one thing. So this Varna Dharma is something different. Then there is what is called Jati Dharma. Having been classified into one particular, group, okay, whether you are really a Brahmana or not, you are Brahman in a Brahmin family. Then society allots some dharmas. So these are all the dharmas according to the divine law. Divine law means according to Lord Krishna, the classification is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is depending on your Swabhava, Prabhavehi, Gunahi. That is Krishna's classification. In addition to Krishna's classification, there is a local classification also. Local, something like a central government and a local government, there is a local order. What is that local order? The local order is, okay, you are born into a Brahmin family, your job is to go and then perform these pujas, perform these yajnas, and then you should not acquire wealth, and then you have to be very, very principled. You can't do this, you can't do that. There are so many guidelines for a Brahmana. Kshatriya, okay, when there is a war, you have to go fight and then you have to lay down your life. All that is for a Kshatriya. Then Vaishya, okay, you have to acquire money, you have to build up wealth and whatnot. So these are all the Jati Dharma. So that is what he says. Nilakanta continues, Jati Dharmastu. Tu means, on the other hand, there are what are called Jati Dharma. Jati Dharmastu Manuna Darshitaha. Manu prescribes this. Manu means Manusmruti. In the Manusmruti, they are written. Adhyapanam cha adhyanam yajanam yajanam tatha. Adhyapanam, teaching, what we are doing now. Adhyapanam. Adhyayanam, we have to study also. If you don't do Adhyapana and Adhyayana, you are not a Brahmana. So please remember. So in fact, there is a passage in Taittiriya Upanishad which I like very much. Rutam cha swadhyaya pravachane satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane. Whatever you do, your whole life, you have to do this adhyapanam and adhyanam. Prajanascha swadhyaya pravachane prajatischa swadhyaya pravachane. You have your wife, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and have atithayascha swadhyaya pravachane. You have to host your atithis and whatnot. In spite of it, you should not say that I don't have time for a swadhyaya, I don't have time for swadhyaya and pravachana. You have to jolly well earmark some time for swadhyaya and pravachana. That beautiful passage from Taittiriya Upanishad. So, adhyapanam cha adhyayanam, yajanam yajanam tatha. Yajanam, doing something yajna, performing himself. Yajanam, doing it for others. Yajanam tatha. Danam parigraham chaiva. He has to donate, he has to give whatever little he has to give. Parigraham, he is the only one man who is competent to take parigraha or bhiksha from others. So like that, these are all Brahmananam akalpayat. Then for Kshatriya, Prajanam Rakshanam, Danam, Ijya, Adhyayanam evacha. Prajanam Rakshanam, that is for the protection of people. Danam, giving all types of donations. Ijya, Adhyayanam. Ijya means performing yajnas. Adhyayanam means he also has to study Veda. He is not supposed to teach Veda unless there is a place where there are no teachers at all. There a Kshatriya can teach, a Vaishya can teach. But normally teaching was only confined to Brahmanas. That was the duty, socially assigned duty. I said Krishna's classification is something, society's classification is different. Krishna's classification is according to Varna. According to Gunas. The local classification is according to Jati. What is this? Dana ijyadhyenam evacha vishayeshu aprasaktim cha kshatriyasya samadhishat. Vishayeshu aprasakti. That means not indulging in sensual pleasures. Not indulging in sensual pleasures. Though this fellow is a king, he has got all resources at his command. So he should not aprasakti, vishayeshu. So he should not indulge in sensual things too much. Naturally there will be some enjoyment, but not excessive enjoyment. Then for this Vaishya, Pashunam Rakshanam, Danam, Ijya, Adhyenamevacha, Vanikpatham, Kusidam cha, Vaishyasya, Krushimevacha. So the Vaishya can do Pashunam Rakshanam. In those days, the greatest wealth was cattle wealth. So Pashunam Rakshanam. So Lord Krishna, who was a cowherd, he was a Vaishya according to this Pashunam Rakshanam, Danam, Ijya. He was also supposed to do Yajnas. Adhyayanam evacha, he was also supposed to study Vedas. All the farmers, Vanik Patham, all the farmers were supposed to study Vedas. Then Vanik Patham, Vanik means a businessman. Kusidam means lending money on interest. Vaddi as something like banking. Kusidam is something like banking. Kusidam cha, Vaishyasya Krushimevacha. Then farming also. Then Shudra is supposed to Etesham eva varnanam shusrusham anasuyaya. Without anasuya, we know the word anasuya. Anasuya is not carrying tales to somebody else, not talking bad about somebody, so not talking about the bad qualities of somebody. That is what is anasuya. So with that sort of guna, the Shudra is the man who is serving all the other people. Because in society, there is somebody who is needed. Suppose you are performing a yajna, there is somebody who has to get all the firewood, etc. from the forest. So you need somebody to get the firewood, somebody to get various things to the place, somebody who has to dig the place and then prepare a Vedi. So all those things. So that was the duty of these people. In fact, there is no mention of untouchability anywhere in our Smritis. This is one point which we have to see. There is no mention of untouchability. Somehow it has come into our practice. But there is no mention of a Panchama Varna. You see, many people, there is a basic problem is, whatever is not there in the Shastras is attributed to Hinduism. This Panchama Varna is not there in our text. Only Chaturvarnyam, and that too Gunakarma Vibhaga. Depending on the gunas, the Lord Krishna's classification is one and social classification is one. We have seen very, very clearly. So this is basically the overall picture. And we have seen, I told you about Bhagavatam also. In Bhagavatam there is a clear example of how in one Janma itself, somebody who is born as a Kshatriya, he becomes a Brahmin. This Rishabhadeva's son, in that passage, 5th Skandha, sons, many sons, they start doing yajnas, they give up this Kshatriya Vritti, they start doing yajnas, yagas and whatnot, and then they karma vishuddhim gatva. So they purify with they undergo that self-purification by various karmas and all that, and then they Brahmana babhu, they became Brahmanas. Then again there is another shloka in same Bhagavatam, 7th Skandha, you can note down, 7-11-35. 7-11-35. This is quoted by Madhusudana Saraswati. Madhusudana Saraswati, he quotes, Yasyayal Lakshanam Pumsaha Yasyayal Lakshanam Proktam Pumso Varnabhivyanjakam Yad Anyatrapi Drushyeta Tat Tenaiva Vinirdishet. So suppose there is a character, some characteristics are told for a particular Varna. If those characteristics are seen elsewhere, yad anyatrapi drushyata, if they are seen elsewhere, tat tenaiva vinirdishet, that particular person, that those things, tenaiva vinirdishet means they should be designated with that particular Varna. So a person who is having those Shamadhi Varna, he should be called a Brahmana only. So this is again from Mahabhagavatam. So Bharatam is saying at several places. Bhagavatam also, this 7-11-35, it says the same. So this is the position of our books. So anyway, now we'll come to Shamodamas Tapashaucham. Next shloka. Kani punastani karmani ityuchyante.
Kani punastani karmani ityuchyante.
Kani punaha tani karmani. That is, what are those karmas? What are all those karmas which have been classified for these varnas? Let us read the shloka. Shamodamas tapashaucham.
Shamodamas tapashaucham.
Kshantirarjavamevacha.
Kshantirarjavamevacha.
Jnanam vijnanamastikyam.
Jnanam vijnanamastikyam.
Brahma karma svabhavajam.
Brahma karma svabhavajam.
So Brahma karma, that is Brahmananam karma. Brahmananam karma, the duty which are assigned, we know the characters, the tasks which are assigned to these Brahmanas, or the lifestyle which is prescribed for a Brahmana, or the lifestyle which is there with that Brahmana Varna. So it is like this. What is that? Shamaha. Shama, we know. Shama is Antarindriya Nigraha. That is controlling the mind, controlling the, having that mental discipline. Then Damaha, Bahyendriya Nigraha, Damaha. Then Tapaha, penance, austerity and whatnot. Shaucham. Shaucham is purity of mind, purity of the body. Shaucham. Then Kshantihi. Kshanti is patience, tolerance. Kshama, Kshantihi. Arjavam, Rujusvabhavam. Shantir Arjavam evacha. Arjavam is Ruju. Ruju means right. The English word right probably is Ruju. They are one and the same. Then Arjavam is straightforward. Integrity, a mental integrity. Straightforwardness, integrity. Then Jnanam. Jnanam is Shastriya Jnanam. Jnanam of all these Shastras. Then Vijnanam. That is Anushtanam. Not only knowing the Shastra, but Anushtanam, that is, say, understanding and then implementing that. Astikyam. Astikyam is Astitva Buddhi. That is, you believe in the existence of God, you are not an Astika. Nastika is Vedanindaka. Astikyam means following the code, following the Vedic Dharma. Astikyam, Astika and Nastika in our tradition. Astika is one who doesn't accept the Veda Pramana. Astika is one who accepts the Veda Pramana. So Astikyam is one who is following that Vedic discipline. So all these things, they are all the Brahmana karmas. Swabhavajam. Again, all these things, they are born out of the Sattva Guna. All this, whoever is a Sattva Guna Pradhana. So this man, he will have that open-mindedness to study Vedas. You see, many of our people nowadays, the problem is, they just don't have patience to study any book. They have no patience to read Ramayana, what is there in Ramayana or Bharata, anything. But then we are very free to criticize. So that means that is not Sattvika Guna. Sattvika Guna is to see. Sattvika Guna is to see, analyze, examine, study, and then arrive at a situation, arrive at some decision. So this Svabhavajam, Sattvika Guna Sattva Guna will lead to all these characteristics. So that is what let us see the Bhashyam. Shamo Damascha Yatha Vyakhyātarthau.
Yatha Vyakhyātarthau.
Yatha Vyakhyātarthau means just as they have been explained earlier. Yatha Vyakhyātam, as explained earlier. Yatha Vyakhyātarthau. Tapaha Yathoktam Sharirādi.
Tapaha Yathoktam Sharirādi.
We have seen these three types of tapa. Sharira, Manasa, Tapa we have seen. Sattvika, Rajasa, Tamasa, those tapas in 6 different ways we have seen. Tapas, Sharirādi. Then Shaucham, Vyakhyātam, that also was told. Kshantihi, Kshama.
Kshantihi, Kshama.
Kshama is the tolerance, then patience, whatnot. Then Arjavam, Rujuta.
Arjavam, Rujuta.
Rujuta is straightforwardness. Then Evamcha, Jnanam, Vijnanam. Astikyam, Asti Bhavaha. Shraddha Dhanata. Paramartheshu Vagamartheshu. So Astikyam means Asti Bhavaha. Yes, there is something which exists. Asti Bhavaha. Nasti Bhavaha is that of the, say, this Buddhists and others. There is nothing, this is all Shunyam. This here we say Asti Bhavaha. There is something called Brahman, there is something called truth. So that is this Asti Bhavaha. Shraddha Dhanata, that is say Shraddha is that sense of, how did we define that Shraddha? Not exactly faith, devotion, dedication. Yeah, dedication is a better word. So that Shraddha Dhanata is dedication. Paramartheshu, Agamartheshu. That is in all those Agamartha. Agama is Veda. In all these scriptural instructions, which are again Paramartha, which relate to the nature of the Supreme. Paramartheshu, Agamartheshu. All these scriptural utterances which relate to the Paramartha. So all those things. Then Brahma Karma, Brahmana Jatehe, of this person who is there in this Brahmana category or Brahmana Jati. Karma, Brahma Karma Swabhavajam. So this is Swabhavaja. Swabhavaja means, that means told in accordance with the Swabhava. Told in accordance with the Swabhava. So we see now that Swabhava is there and then Swabhava is determining a Varna. So sometimes it may so happen that somebody may not have that say Swabhava, but still by virtue of being born in that line. So somebody is suppose you are a highly saintly person. Your son is not so saintly, but still because he is born in that particular line, he is groomed in that way for a long time. Suppose there is a politician by virtue of his physical power, he has become a chief minister. His son, of course, he doesn't have any leadership qualities. So, but still he is being groomed in that particular line. Slowly he develops like that. So that sort of thing has taken place in Indian society also. That sort of thing has taken place in the Indian society. So just as a politician doesn't want to give up his position, just as a leader doesn't, some film actor doesn't want to give the film field to some other fellow. So similarly, some little bit of, say here of course there is no great wealth or anything. Some respect, something that feeling of, okay, I am doing a noble thing, I am doing a very pious thing. So this feeling of satisfaction, this was the only selfishness on the part of a Brahmin. The feeling that he was something which is doing a very noble task, this feeling is the only, what can we say, selfishness of a Brahmin. Apart from that, there was no enjoyment of any wealth. In fact, it was a rejection of all the wealth. So let us see the next. Next we are coming to, okay, next one more line is there. Yaduktam swabhava prabhavair gunaihi, yaduktam swabhava prabhavair gunaihi pravibhaktani iti.
Yaduktam swabhava prabhavair gunaihi pravibhaktani iti.
Tadevoktam swabhavajam iti.
Tadevoktam swabhavajam iti.
So swabhavajam, here the word swabhavajam should be taken as meaning swabhava prabhavaihi gunaihi. So that's what he says. Yaduktam swabhava prabhavair gunaihi pravibhaktam iti. Whatever has been told earlier, that all these things are divided on the basis of this swabhava prabhavai, all these swabhava prabhavai gunaihi. The same thing is meant by this word tadeva vuktam swabhavajam iti. In this case, swabhavajam is the same as swabhava prabhavair gunaihi. Then shauryam iti.
Shauryam iti.
Shauryam tejo dhrutirdakshyam.
Shauryam tejo dhrutirdakshyam.
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam.
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam.
Dhanam ishvara bhavascha.
Dhanam ishvara bhavascha.
Kshatram karma swabhavajam.
Kshatram karmam swabhavajam.
Karmam, not karma, karma. Kshatram karma swabhavajam.
Kshatram karma swabhavajam.
Karma is napumsaka. There is no, and it is not in any other vibhakti. Okay, what is that? Shauryam. Okay, Shauryam. Shauryam, we know. Shauryam is valorousness, valorous nature. Tejaha. Tejaha is pragalbhyam. Shankaracharya is going to say pragalbhyam is that confidence, that great self-confidence. And say one commentator says, that ability to fight, ability to go and encounter even a bigger enemy. So that is what Tejaha, that is one commentator says. Then Dhrutihi. Dhruti is firmness of mind. Dhrutihi. Dakshyam. Dakshyam is capability. Dakshata. Dakshata means capability. Capability. Yuddhecha apalayanam. Yuddhecha api apalayanam. Apalayanam is not running away from the battlefield, not turning your back. In fact, turning your back is supposed to be the greatest sin. A person who turns his back in the battlefield, he has done the worst sin according to Kshatriya dharma, because this Kshatriya dharma etc. is again described by the society, isn't it? Brahmana dharma, Kshatriya dharma. So Kshatriya dharma is to fight. So that is it. Yuddhecha pyapalayanam. Then danam ishvara bhavascha. Danam. He should be highly charitable. He should be giving money for various good deeds. Ishvara bhavascha. Ishvara bhava means that is leadership qualities. Ishana shilitvam. That is leadership qualities. Ishvara, the literal meaning of Ishvara is Ishana shilaha. Ishana means Ishaha. Ishate means rules. Ishate means lords over, rules. That is leadership qualities. All these things are Kshatram karma swabhavajam. Here also this word swabhavajam should be taken to mean say the same thing. Swabhava prabhavair gunaihi. Swabhavajam is equal to swabhava prabhavair gunaihi. So that is it. So let us see the bhashyam. Shauryam shurasya bhavaha.
Shauryam shurasya bhavaha.
Tejaha pragalbhyam.
Tejaha pragalbhyam.
So for shurasya bhavaha, Anandagiri writes Vikramaha. Balavattaraanapi prahartum pravurtihi. That is, even though this fellow is a small fellow, he is prepared to fight with the bigger people. So that is what is Shauryam. So Shauryam is Vikramaha balavattaraanapi prahartum pravurtihi. Though I am a small man, I will try to fight with a bigger man also. So that is Vikrama, Shauryam. Then Tejaha pragalbhyam. That is confidence, self-confidence and say fearlessness actually. Fearlessness. Dhrutihi dharanam. Dhruti is that what is that? Fortitude of mind, strength, firmness. Then sarvavasthasu anavasado bhavati.
Sarvavasthasu anavasado bhavati.
Yaya dhrutya uttambhitasya.
Yaya dhrutya uttambhitasya.
You see, yaya dhrutya uttambhitasya. That is for the one who has been supported. Uttambhanam means supported, held up. Uttambhanam. That is for the one who has been supported by this dhruti or will, strong will. Sarva avasthasu anavasadaha. So you read the sentence in a reverse way. Sarva avasthasu anavasadaha bhavati dhrutyotambhitasya. That dhrutyotambhitasya bring to the beginning. Yaya dhrutya uttambhitasya, for the one who has been upheld or who has been supported by that strong will. Sarvavasthasu anavasadaha bhavati. In all situations, anavasadaha. Avasada means avasidati, vishadam prapnoti. That is, he never gets demoralized in any situation. So that is what is dhruti. Dhruti is that fortitude of mind. Any type of situation, he doesn't get demoralized, he doesn't get, not morally, he doesn't get weak. So, anavasadaha, he doesn't feel weak. So, that sort of thing. Then, dakshyam dakshasya bhavaha.
Dakshyam dakshasya bhavaha.
Sahasa pratyutpanneshu karyeshu.
Sahasa pratyutpanneshu karyeshu.
Avyamohena pravurtihi. So we are seeing, we are learning so many good words here. So many words relating to human nature. Dakshyam is dakshasya bhavaha. Dakshaha. We know the character called Daksha in Puranas. Daksha Yajnam, who performs a great yajna. Daksha means a person who has that great confidence and then he says, I am the most competent man. The notion of I is predominant and not he is a man who has forgotten the Lord, thinking that he is the man who was doing it. So that is where that Daksha Yajnam was. So that great notion of I had to be removed by Lord Shiva. So that was the symbolism there. So Dakshasya bhavaha. So here of course we are not talking about an ordinary man who is a very valorous Kshatriya. So a capable man. What is that capability? Sahasa pratyutpanneshu karyeshu. Suddenly something emerges, some new situation emerges, some difficult situation emerges. There, avyamohena pravurtihi. He doesn't get deluded, he doesn't get, caught in that, he doesn't get, clouded by any sort of ignorance or anything. Avyamohena. So he doesn't get deluded by them and then he goes ahead, that pravrutti. So, sahasa pratyutpanneshu karyeshu. Even when he suddenly encounters some problems, he faces them and then he doesn't get dejected or he doesn't get, moha, that he doesn't get deluded by them. So, that sort of pravrutti. Then yuddhe cha pyapalayanam aparangmukhi bhavah.
युद्धे च अपि अपलायनम्
Aparangmukhi bhavah.
अपराङ्मुखी भावः
Parangmukham means turning back. Abhimukham is towards. Parangmukham is turning back. So aparangmukham, not turning back. When yuddhe chapi apalayanam, not palayanam. He doesn't use that palayana mantra. We call it palayana mantram. So somebody who runs away, so we say that he has read the palayana mantram. So he is not a person who does that palayana mantram. So he is one man who stays there and then he doesn't turn his back. Aparangmukhi bhavaha shatrubhyaha. From that shatrus, he doesn't show his back to the enemy. So that is it. Then danam deyeshu mukta hastata.
Danam deyeshu mukta hastata.
Deyeshu means all those deserving people. Deyaha means a deserving person. Deyeshu, in the case of all those deserving people. Mukta hastata, a free hand. It's a beautiful word. Mukta hastata. Mukta means just release. Mukta hasta. So he has no tight fist. He has totally loose fist. Mukta hastata is a free hand, loose fist, loose hand. So he is a very good usage rather. Mukta hastata. Then Ishvara bhavaha, Ishvarasya bhavaha.
Ishvara bhavaha, Ishvarasya bhavaha.
Prabhu Shakti Prakatikaranam Ishitavyan Prati.
Prabhu Shakti Prakatikaranam Ishitavyan Prati.
Kshatram karma Kshatriya jatehe vihitam karma.
Kshatram karma Kshatriya jatehe vihitam karma.
Kshatra karma svabhavajam.
Kshatra karma svabhavajam.
Okay, Ishvara bhavatvam. Ishvara bhavam. What is the bhavaha? What is the Ishvara bhavaha? Ishvarasya bhavaha. And what is the meaning of Ishvara? Prabhu Shakti Prakatikaranam Ishitavyan Prati. So Prabhu Shakti Prakatikaranam, that is to demonstrate. Prakatikaranam means to make it manifest, to demonstrate. Prakatikaranam of what? Prabhu Shakti, your capacity to control. Prabhu Shakti, you are the Prabhu, you are the boss. Prabhu is the boss. Prabhu Shakti means the capacity to be the boss. Prakatikaranam means to demonstrate. To demonstrate the capacity as your boss. You are the manager of this office, you have to demonstrate your say Shakti there. Prabhu Shakti Prakatikaranam. Ishitavyan Prati. Against whom? Not against people who are outside. Ishitavyan Prati. For all the people who are under you. Ishitavyaha. That means who has to be lorded over. So in the case of a king, all the people in his kingdom are Ishitavyaha. Ishanasilaha. Ishitavyaha means one who has to be controlled. Who are the Ishitavyaha in the case of a king? All the people in the kingdom are Ishitavyaha. They are supposed to be protected, they are supposed to be lorded over, they are supposed to be guided in a proper path. After all, king is supposed to guide them in a proper path also. Raghuvamsha, there is a beautiful shloka which I think I told sometime earlier. Prajanam vinayadhanat rakshanad bharanadapi. So the duties of a king are vinayadhanam. Vinayasya adhanam. That is, you have to instill discipline among people. Vinayadhanam. Prajanam vinayadhanat rakshanat. You have to protect. Bharanadapi. Bharana means you have to not only protect, but you have to give him some money also. Some like all our doles which our chief ministers and prime ministers are giving. Various doles means various things by way he has to give various help them in various manners in order to survive. So that is rakshanat bharanadapi. Then sa pita pitarastesham kevalam janmahetavah. So Raja is like a real father. And the biological fathers are kevalam janmahetavah. They are only responsible for their birth. But then the real father is the king. So that is it. Sa pita pitarastesham kevalam janmahetavah. The biological fathers are only for the sake of production, but the real father is the king. So that is how Raghuvamsha says. So like that, Ishitavyan Prati. There are people who are in his kingdom who have to be lorded over. Ishitavyan Prati. Kshatram karma Kshatriya jatehe vihitam karma. So that is the vihitam. Vihitam means that is which is prescribed. It is there in the vidhi. Whatever is there in the vidhi is called vihitam. Vihitam karma swabhavajam. That is swabhava prabhavair gunaihi uktam. So that is it.
Here this notion of I in a positive manner.
Yeah, notion of I in a positive manner. This gentleman is supposed to have because that where that Dakshayajna story, it is symbolic. Dakshayajna story is very symbolic, where a person who is doing that yajna, he has to do it with a notion, not with the notion that I and great notion of I should not be there. He has to do it in the notion of say karma yoga, and unfortunately that Daksha was not in that frame of mind. So that is why he ignored Shiva. So that is why Shiva had to come and remove his head and then put some other head of a goat or something like that on him. So that is it. So we will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.